So guys, Nigerians have been reacting after a video of Tinubu's campaign vehicles for 2027 started circulating. Like you can see, Sahara reporters captured it saying Tinubu distributes new Hilux Hummer buses to states for 2027 campaign amid soaring insecurity. That has come with a whole lot of criticism from Nigerians. But before we get into that, let me take you through more troubling headlines here. This one says gunmen abduct fresh Nigerian lawyer on his way to Ekiti after call to bar ceremony. This like some hours ago, and Tinubu is busy thinking of 2027. Another headline here says gunmen abduct Catholic priest Emmanuel Ezema from Zaria Diocese residence. Another Catholic priest kidnapped. So guys, the country is boiling and Tinubu is busy campaigning for 2027. You can see the level of, insensitivity among the so-called leaders in Nigeria. Tinubu is busy with 2027. That is why even all that the United States has been saying makes no meaning. His body language shows that he's not bothered about what's happening in the country. People cannot travel. You must have seen the roads are constantly blocked by kidnappers. I mean, on several occasions, the roads are unpassable because there will be operations happening at different points. And the Tinubu's government is very calm. Don't forget that Tinubu has nominated a new defense minister, and guess what? He has been confirmed by the Senate. But Nigerians are saying that is not who he's not the one to end the insecurity. That if Tinubu's body language still shows he doesn't care, that this man cannot perform miracle. Tinubu has to show the political will to end insecurity if he really wants to end it. It's not a matter of changing defense ministers. Now let me show you how Nigerians are reacting to the Tinubu's campaign vehicles already circulating. This is 2025. Tinubu is already campaigning for 2027 election. This person here say this is in the midst of unprecedented hardship and hunger. See where the useless frog eye man heart is. Election. Useless and hopeless situation. This other person here said, we are in December 2025. People are being killed, kidnapped, can't travel, and rendered homeless. Yet your mind is already busy figuring out how to retain power through your usual crooked methods. This lack of empathy is loud. It's loud. At least try to pretend you are a human. And this other person here say, but that is insensitive to our plight. We are fighting and trying to see how to secure our lives from this insurgent, and he's provoking our psyche by talking about 2027 that he doesn't know whether he will live up to them. Honestly. And this person say, with lots of chaos in the country, all the president is concerned about is winning election. There is money to buy Hilux, Prado, Haice for campaign, but not for armed forces. Lots of police stations in Nigeria don't have vehicles. Even most of their buildings look so dilapidated, honestly. This person say the country is bleeding and Tinubu is branding 2027 campaign buses. He hasn't been able to protect citizens in his current mandate, and he wants another mandate. This person here said every penny spent on these vehicles enriches foreign countries and strengthens their economy. Wrapping the cars and paying the recipients are other expenses. Nobody can tell or account for this loot. Nigeria is a lawless nation where politicians get away with anything. You can imagine all these are foreign vehicles and they want Nigeria to progress. And this person said Nigeria don't borrow itself, reach level of pure absurdity. At least now we they see where all the borrowing they enter. We don't they shout and since, but 2025 never finish and campaign boss for 2027 don't already lined up with public funds. This no be governance. Now election spending with taxpayer money while country scatter. Another person here say, where is the money coming from? Tinubu has turned federal coffer into his party and personal bank to fund his dream of a second term. This is abusive and corrupt practice. He is throwing more money at members of other parties that it is easy for them to switch parties. That's just what he's doing, And this person here said Tinubu is already distributing Hilux and Hummer buses for 2027 while Nigerians are being slaughtered daily. Where is INEC chairman, or has he gone Mahmoud blind deaf or simply complicit? This is an open violation of electoral laws. Yet the same system that screams rule of law suddenly goes mute. What exactly is Tinubu going to campaign about? Is it with hardship, insecurity, or fraud? This is what happens when a snatch it, grab it, run with it civilian coup on democracy happen to a nation. Hey, and this other person here said, I like how they are already branded. Make it easy to identify for stoning by angry citizens when elections start, allegedly. So guys, but it's really so heartbreaking to see Tinubu displaying campaign vehicles. You can see that this reverend father you are seeing here has been kidnapped. This reverend father in Kaduna again. Kaduna, there's many Reverend Fathers have gone in that Kaduna, honestly. Many of them, and hardly the kidnappers let them go alive. Hardly. I just pray that this one comes back safely. So guys, let me know your thought on this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.
A 2021 video featuring the Minister of State for Defense and former Governor of Zamfara State, Bello Matawalle, stating that not all bandits are criminals, has resurfaced online, sparking controversy. Speaking with journalists at the Aso Rock Villa, Matawalle claimed that some bandits take the law into their own hands because they are ill-treated by vigilante groups who go to their settlements, destroy property, and take their animals, leading to reprisal attacks. Let's take a look.
It's the same, and it's not all of them are criminal. Not all of them are criminal, because if you know, or maybe if you investigate what is happening or what makes them to take those laws into their hand, some of them sometimes were cheated by so-called Nsakai, and I have to ban completely the Nsakai in my state. The Nsakai, those called vigilante group, who normally went to their settlement, destroy their property and take their animals. So, they doesn't have anyone to speak with. So sometimes they are going for revenge. Like if Ntsake attack them, so they will go for reprisals. So that is what exactly happening. And some of them are living in a settlement where close to a village or town, and they sometimes if there is maybe operation, military operation, the military will go and destroy their properties and their animals. So they are angry with such actions sometimes. So sometimes if you are talking to them, you can understand where they are coming from and you can understand their problems. So it is important we as leaders to sit down with those people to understand what is the genesis first. You can't just, jump and conclude that the person is a criminal. You have to listen to him. What makes him to go into that activities? So this is what to do. So they are not all of them. It's not all Fulani are criminals. Some are good citizens, but due to some circumstances, they subscribe to such a criminality.
You can't say all of them are criminals. This video of Matawalle has been widely criticized by Nigerians who argue that regardless of any grievances, bandits terrorizing communities, kidnapping innocent people, and destroying lives and property cannot be justified or excused under any circumstances. The resurfacing of this video is particularly significant as it raises questions about his approach to tackling terrorism, given his position as Minister of State for Defense. Vimbai, I'll come to you on the story. I'd like to just, juxtapose the two stories at this point. We're seeing a minister talking about criminals and saying that not all of them are criminals. I mean, how do you even justify that?
And Oji, and you also have to add the dimension of the fact that he's, former governor of Zamfara State, and that the current governor of Zamfara State has raised several complaints and concerns about the fact that he's been trying to get collaboration and assistance to deal with banditry, insurgency, criminality in his state, but it's falling on deaf ears. And you ask yourself, well, if this is the person who is part of the people at the helm of affairs with regards to defense issues, and you look at somebody like General Christopher Musa, who is being praised for the collaborative element that he brought to his home state. And then you look at this gentleman who, in all intents and purposes, seems to have abandoned the security issues of his state. And why is that? Because he's chosen to sanitize banditry, criminality, and insurgency. We cannot sanitize criminality. Now, there is the psychology of crime. And yes, that's a very interesting, shall I say it, school of thought to venture into. However, if that is what the minister is passionate about, that's something maybe he can fund research for criminals who have been prosecuted, convicted, and incarcerated. Those studies happen from the confines of prison. We cannot continue to treat people who are perpetuating all manner of crimes, terrorist activities, from abducting school children, you hear stories of pregnant women, vulnerable, soft targets living in fear. People have been displaced. And in all of this, we're trying to create a narrative where the perpetrators of this crime are the victims. They are not the victims in this. Like I said, there is the psychology of criminality, which is something that people can pursue in their own time. And if they want to make investment into, the study of all of that, everybody is welcome to do so. But that's something that you study for people who are inside prison. They're incarcerated because they felt the full wrath of the law. Now, what are the three things that are currently on the table? Number one, people are saying these groups must be disarmed. Number two, people are saying we need to see displaced people going back home. And number three, which really ties in directly to this, is let's see the prosecution of these people. No, we're no longer in the realm of explaining away these problems when they are posing daily, not just an existential threat to these communities and these states, but it's now becoming an existential threat to Nigeria as a whole. So this type of rhetoric and body language, I feel, has no place in this rejigging of security infrastructure that our president is doing at the moment.
There is no negotiation with terrorists. What you have are official terrorists and bush terrorists having a conversation. So what you call negotiation is the discussion about sharing formula between the official terrorists who bring the money and the unofficial terrorists in whose name they are collecting the money. It's a racket. They are running a racket in front of you. There's a lot of money in government, and insecurity is one way to collect it without receipts. That's what they are doing. They're just scamming the Nigerians. There is no insecurity in the land that Nigerian armed forces and Nigerian police cannot get rid of under a good presidential system, under a good presidency. They will get rid of it. What they are doing is just scamming you. Just that they are constructing roads to nowhere. They are building bridges that will never finish. There are a lot of projects in the sky. They found out that all other projects, you ask them, where's the road? Where's the bridge? Where's the school? But if they inundate you with insecurity, you cannot, and they say they have rescued 500 children, and 500 billion is gone. You cannot ask for receipts. If they are in the bushes, exchanging food and drinks with terrorists, and tell you that they have spent 4 trillion to keep you secure, you can't ask questions. That's why the president will tell you, every president will tell you, I will finish them. But when he comes in, they finish him with money. And he feels, okay, this is an easy way to raise money for campaign. That is why Nigeria has, in the world of hotel business, Nigeria has the highest number of military generals owning hotels, estates, and everything, on a salary of how much?
All right, let's look at, let me play the devil's advocate. If you have made the president today...
There are no devils in the country already, but you go ahead.
All right. Let's see, if you have made the president today, how will you address some of these challenges that you have pointed out that have consequence of almost failed Nigerians? How will you address it in 30 days?
The first thing to do is that you have to get a priority right. You have a pact with whoever you are going to make Chief of Army, Chief of the Navy, Chief of Air Force, Head of the IG of Police, DG of DSS, DMI, NIA, Civil Defense. You talk to everybody. I want the terrorists gone in 30 days. If they don't go in 30 days, you give me a letter of resignation. Simple. I'm not recruiting one more person to join you. I'm not doing anything. I am telling you in 30 days, or if you think you can't do it, don't take the job now. So that's the understanding between you and me when I'm giving you the job. And you will say, I can't do the job. Give it to the next person. I retire you and go to the next person. But if I find somebody who says, yes, we die here. Either, sir, I will be dead, or the terrorist will be dead. That is the person who can head my armed forces. Anybody who wants to go and run for governor later, saving money for it, go and find out what is the trajectory of all the service chiefs we have been having since 2008, when they foisted this scam called Boko Haram on us. Go and find out. Their trajectory is towards politics and big business. So I need to put a stop to that. Second, I need to govern the country according to the law. There is no terrorist who should be bigger than the divisional police officer in that division. Anything that will make me have a DPO in a police division that has a smaller gun than a terrorist, then I don't have a police. The biggest gun in the land ought to belong to the army. The next biggest gun should belong to the police. And there should be no terrorists who should be able to upset the armed forces. I don't know if you have organized a choir before.
Sure.
Once your choir members are up to 45, you must buy Panadol extra to coordinate them. Imagine an untrained person who happens to be a fanatic or a lunatic, and he says he's setting up a band of terrorists, and they are occupying territories the size of a state. How are they financing it? The logistics of it, the communication, and the whole country cannot raise an army to defeat them. If a terrorist is recruiting, before you can get 1,000 people, the government will know that it's a terrorist already. Government can quietly recruit 100,000 soldiers and nobody will know, and train them. A terrorist can be sponsored by 2 or 3 countries. Nigeria has 146 international friends. Many of them have treaties with us that will not stop them, that will not allow them to give excuses not to assist us. And many of the terrorists are well known. They have telephone numbers of governors. And every commissioner of police in a state has the telephone number of terrorists in that state. So, I will end this scam. Oh, clear. There's nothing complicated there. The real terrorist is the Azo Villa. The headquarters of Boko Haram is the same address of Tinubu. So if you post a letter to Tinubu, if it doesn't come out on time, Boko Haram will collect the letter and read it and pass it to him. They live together. They work together. They plan together. And they share together.
How do you mean that the headquarters, the address is at the villa?
Because the villa, the state house, is where all this criminality is being planned. If you deceive yourself and think that Nigerian army cannot defeat the terrorists, then you don't know Nigerian army. Try and whistle at the wife of a general, and you see how the entire barrack will descend on you. Try and a home minister of FCT could not collect 1 plot of land. You saw how that Navy captain stood his ground there, telling Wike, yes, we are not coming here. Imagine if every captain stood their ground and said terrorists not entering Nigeria like that. If the armed forces strong enough to stop a minister who is representing the president from misbehaving on the land that he has interest, say, I have my orders. So are you telling me, if the president of Nigeria gives an order that the whole of Lagos State should be evacuated, the army in Lagos will evacuate everybody? If they give an order that the whole of Kanu State should be evacuated, the army has enough capacity to evacuate the whole state. The president made a proclamation, and the entire government house was forcibly evacuated in 1 day. So you are telling me that the president wants to end this thing, he will not end it? But their political money is tied to it. And if you think maybe because I don't like them, which I don't pretend about that. Go and read the EFCC reports on what Jonathan did with the money he borrowed in the name of fighting Boko Haram. You are a journalist. You saw the trials. You saw the investigation. Who was collecting the money? The money was shared to politicians, girlfriends, contractors. Let's say we're even a nation of cripples. That sometimes in the past, there was no proper polio vaccination. A majority of Nigerians are crippled. We have no leg. We have enough resources to hire mercenaries to kill Boko Haram and terrorists and bandits. 5% of the money we make from gas, liquefied LNG, is enough to hire mercenaries. There are countries that are small, like Qatar, Kuwait, and all of that. And they have vast lands. It's impossible for them to raise an army, because their entire population is like a campus, a university campus in Nigeria. But they hire experts, and their country is still safe. How can Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, all those tiny population countries are feeling you can drive anywhere you like? I travel to those countries, I drive day and night in vast open land where nothing to stop you. You want to invade. Nobody is invading them. Your TV station, I've seen you with a number of drones because you like to cover a wedding, a football match, or anything. But the Nigerian police will be using word of mouth to look for bandits and terrorists. They can't even hire a drone. And they have billions. The person Tinubu put as his Minister of Defense, of all the people in Nigeria today that know something about defense, says that bomb cannot enter bushes. That when the bush is too thick, a bomb cannot enter. That's how we can catch terrorists. That is the Minister of Defense. Even in a comedy skit, a Minister of Defense will say, no, this is too stupid. I can't say it. But he said it. So governors who were known and were accused of being Boko Haram collaborators, they are the ones he put in charge of defense. So if you are a terrorist and your best buddy is in charge of the army of the other side, won't you go and buy a bottle of champagne and first chill and say, okay, the business has continued? So they're not serious. It gives the feeling to Nigerian people. They make the army look fatigued, so that when you see the army, you don't have confidence anymore. I remember during the time of 2023 election, was late 2022, I was campaigning to Zamfara State. I will go to the border and the army said, sir, you cannot pass. It's night, there's a curfew, nobody can pass here. Yeah. We have somewhere to go. What do you mean by that? They say, Boko Haram's on the way. We say, well, we still have to go. I want to be commander-in-chief of armed forces. How can I not be able to walk around my country again? So if escort us, they said no. So one of my campaign managers, Lawa, said, look, let's go and get vigilante. And we got vigilante. And they enter our convoy. And we go and we were going and they were saying, look at Boko Haram people there. And the vigilante came down, chased them, and they were running and we passed. And I came back and I gave an interview on TVC that, hey, this thing is a scam. I went somewhere 2 days ago and the army told me nobody can pass. And I took vigilante and we chased them away and we passed. That's far back as 2022. It's 3 years plus now. So what I'm letting you know is that big coup in Guinea-Bissau, like they just did now, if they tell the 3D, the 3rd Division of Nigerian Army, go and flush them out, they will go and flush those people out. Nigerian Army, Nigerian forces can flush out Boko Haram, and Nigerian police can secure this country if there's a political leadership that says, do it. But there's nobody who is a commissioner of police, AIG or DIG, who too doesn't want to be a billionaire, and a governor, and a minister, and a senator, if that is the business of the day. There's nobody who's a general who sees his cosmate building hotels, estates, Go and take Nigeria military intelligence. Just watch the spouses of your military officers. See them go to Madeira, go to Dubai, go to Cancun, go to the best places, shopping and buying things which the lifetime salary of their husband cannot afford. When serving military officers are sponsoring people for governor, concerning for that. So, I don't blame them. I blame the person who claims to be commander-in-chief, who is not doing the job. So that is what is happening. And if Nigerians don't understand that the spelling of Boko Haram is the same spelling as government, and that if the government wants to do it, they can do it. And your job is to make them do it.
So guys, you can see what's happening in the country. Tinubu is turning Nigeria into something else. I mean, Tinubu is really turning this country to become something else. You can see what people are going through. They don't care. It's none of their businesses. They don't send, you know, they don't. That is the Tinubu's government for you. It's none of their business. Whether people are alive or they are dead, it does not concern them. It's really, really so sad that the country is burning and Tinubu is just playing politics with the lives of Nigerians. People are being kidnapped. People can't even travel. I mean, people cannot travel. To move from one point to another in Nigeria is like a death sentence. People cannot travel. And Tinubu, on which road is Tinubu going to ride these vehicles? Nigerians, on which road is Tinubu going to ride these vehicles? Or he just wants to jeopardize the lives of people? Share his people he's going to give these vehicles to go and be carrying up and down. He's just going to jeopardize. You can't even guarantee security. You can't guarantee security to the lives of Nigerians. You are just bringing out campaign vehicles. Somebody said by the time election is drawing close now, all this terrorism will stop. Because these politicians will go and pay these terrorists not to start striking. And actually it happened during the time of Buhari. All the menace of the Fulani stopped during campaign. Until campaigns were over, they now resumed again. Somebody was saying that this is exactly what is going to happen. So you can see what the APC is bringing to Nigeria. They don't have anything good for this country. It does not concern them. They didn't send anybody. And that is why the country just keep going down. Instead of progressing. Look at other African countries are progressing. Nigeria, because of leadership problem. All these leaders, they don't care. It's none of their businesses. That's why they will just be taking Nigerians for granted. So guys, it's really, really so sad that Tinubu, in the midst of all these people. Now, you must have heard the story of the defense ministry personnel. 6 women that were kidnapped. The husband of one of them was on Channels television, saying till now he has not heard from his wife. He doesn't know if his wife is alive or dead. The defense ministry too did not contact him. Your wife, you send somebody's wife on an official mission and they kidnap her. You did not even bother to contact the husband. Hey God, this country is gone. Honestly, Nigeria is really gone. You couldn't contact the family. You couldn't contact the husband. You couldn't tell them that, okay, this your wife that was sent on a mission. She has been kidnapped, but we are doing everything we can to get her released. The man said he did not hear from anybody. No government official called him. Not the office where the wife is working called him. He has been the one going up and down looking for the whereabouts of his wife. Till now, these people were kidnapped for like 1 month ago. Till now, he has not heard anything. The bandit did not even make any demand as to, oh God, people have really suffered in Nigeria. I mean, people have suffered. People have seen hell. People have seen hell in this country. It's really, really so pathetic, with what people are going through in the hands of Tinubu. People are going through hell. So you can imagine if that woman has been killed. Can imagine what she went through at the hands of her abductors before they finally killed her. Can imagine what she went through at the hands of her abductors before they finally killed her. And she's not the only one. The man said they released some. They didn't release some. But he does not even... You find out that the whole story is somehow. The whole story is really somehow, you know. There's nothing straightforward in this country. Everything is just done the other way around. It's really, really so pathetic. I really feel for the man. He's not the one moving around looking for his wife. He said he wants his wife's body, dead or alive. He just wants the corpse. That's what he's asking for. Your wife went to work in military. See how they useless her. They just useless the woman. Anyway, guys, I don't know what to say about what's happening in this country, but honestly, it's really so pathetic considering the insensitivity of the so-called leaders in this country. They don't care. It's not them that sent you. That is why they are doing all this. It does not concern them at all. Nigeria can go to ashes. Nigeria can burn to blazes. It's none of their business. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.